Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. I'm going to say thank you for tuning in to try to figure out some more about your dogs. Something that I do know and something that I want to continue to keep on talking about is exercising your dog is something that is a very, very valuable tool to be able to utilize to get your dog to be able to start to become in tune with you and listen to you. And when it comes down to the exercise, I want to talk about something that is just from my personal experience and just stuff that I've seen. You know, I don't know everything and what everyone's doing, but I just know that what I see and things that I personally do to verify that I know that I'm following through basically with what it is that's supposed to be done. And for me personally, I can always tell when someone is not following through with what it is that I'm asking them to do. I can see it in the dog. I can see what's going on because out of my personal experience, there's the two sides of it that I get. Someone would say, well, the more you run your dog, the more you work your dog, the more stamina, the more endurance that the dog is going to get. But just my own personal experience of working with dogs, I find that to be like the opposite effect in reality. I find that the first time that you really work the dog, so something like the video I posted yesterday showing my German Shepherd here, chasing that ball. I can throw that ball for this boy 4 or 5 times and he's good to go. And someone might say, oh no, I could never do it. My dog would be out there for 4 hours. And I'm going to say to you, it's because you don't do it every day. If you throw the ball for your dog once a month, once a week, once every other week, yes, it's going to take you 4 hours. But if you do it every day, that first day, it's going to take you 4 hours. Yes, for sure. Because your dog's never had that opportunity to just be able to say, express all of its dogness out. So it's going to take much more because it's got like basically just like months and years of amped up energy inside of it. So it's going to take much more. But the next time you do it, the next day, literally the next day, I'm not saying wait 5 months and wait a week and wait even 2 days. You're going to work that dog for that time, throwing that ball and get that dog satisfied. And then the next day, you're going to do it again. And the next day, it might take another 4 hours. And this is the moment where majority of people just quit. You're like, nope, see, I don't, for one, have time to do that. And two, you know, it's not getting anywhere. I can't possibly keep up with this. And just in my experience, I noticed, keep going. Go the next day. If that second day was that long, you're throwing that ball for that dog to finally just say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm good to go. You're going to get that dog to that point again. And you're going to do that day after day after day after day after day after day after day. And at one moment, I see this from every single dog still that I've worked with. I don't notice that the first day was 2 hours and then the second day was 8 hours. I noticed that the first day is 2 hours and the third or fourth day is like 10, 15 minutes now. And then the fifth and the sixth day is like 5 to 10 minutes. And then it keeps getting lower and lower and lower. And that's where, for me, why it's say simple and fast and easy to be able to exercise my dog, because I do it every single day. I'm not taking a day off. I'm not having no excuses on why I don't have the time to be able to do it. I get it done every day. And that shows in the dog, because it shows when the dogs are actually able to get satisfied in just a shorter amount of time. The first time takes forever. And that's where I'm going to say, like, majority of people just quit because you're just like, oh, it's not working. It's not going anywhere. And you just get any feelings, I guess I can say, as opposed to just understanding that if the dog has never been able to chase, never been able to really run, never able to really do anything, that dog is just like, it's holding it in. And when it gets a chance, it's going to go extreme, absolutely extreme. And it's going to be wild. And sometimes like you can even see how my boy gets and how he is with his ball. He gets a little mouthy. He gets a little wild. And if you're not used to that, you know, that's where, for me, I understand playing with toys and stuff is slightly dangerous with some of these dogs, because they will bite to get that toy. Not in a way that they're trying to aggressively hurt you, but just in a way of, it's just a dog doing what a dog's got to do. He wants to get to that toy faster. He wants to get to that say fun faster. So that's the energy that we got to get out of the dogs. And then the only way to do that is just to do it more and more and more and more and more. And us as humans, we're smart. Get 2 or 3 different balls. So the dog is not want to let one go. You got another one on you. And the best is to keep 3 on you, because sometimes I've seen dogs hold 2 in their mouth at the same go. And they clever. But I've never seen one holding 3 before. And that'd be a very interesting defeat to see the dog makes happen. But we got to get the dogs to the point that we're doing it consistently over and over and over again. And that's what gets into the dog's brain of being able to calm down and relax. That's what gets into the dog of being able to just, man, this is sketchy right here. It's a little wet. I got her pulling me a little bit. hold on a second. This is, I'm not trying to fall on my butt today. All right, you get to that point that every single day you're working that dog over and over and over and over and over, and that's what gets into the dog's brain of understanding how to be able to just know and anticipate, and then start to appreciate being able to get there. And then the dog just, it doesn't need so much. It's something that this is the part that, like, even with this, my Dalmatian today, I've been walking now for what I think I've been walking. So this loop here, where am I? I'm in about a half, not even a little less than a half mile in, and she done based on what we've been doing this week already. She's not like building a stamina. This is where I know for a fact that this is hard to do with dogs. It's hard to get them to work more, as opposed to them just hitting their limit and they're just like, I'm good to go. Pushing them past that is so challenging. That's the most challenging. That's everything on this universe is like that. It's hard for us as humans. We can get to a point that we can go for a 5-mile walk and it's comfortable. But now to go for a 5-mile run, that is so hard to do. It is like, it is not equivalent in any way. And you don't just get there overnight. It's gonna take years in reality. So since I've been running her this week, she's done already today on this walk. This is like one of the first times I've seen this girl, mouth open, tongue hanging out, has a little pant going on. And she's like, man, we good. Like everything's fine out here. And it's because I'm doing it over and over and over again. When you only do it once every 4th day, and you're thinking that you're gonna be able to give your dog, because this is where you can get there later on. But at first, you need to be very consistent on every single day doing something to get that dog tired. And this is where the hard part is for us as humans, to actually just have to spend that extra time right now, that extra time that you just have to put in to be able to give that dog what it needs. And I've just watched dogs to just get better and better and better. It takes less and less and less time, to the point that now you had a dog that you're sitting there throwing that ball for 4 hours. Now that dog is like 2 or 3 runs and it's like, oh, we're good, satisfied. And it's just ready to lay down, ready to hang out, ready to nap. And then it's like, oh, let me just chew on something. And that's the part where, for me, I don't let them chew on the toys. I let them chew on something that they can eat. I'll go get them a bone. I'll go get a turkey neck, go get a chicken neck, go get something. I'll give them something to be able to chew on so they can be able to satisfy that chew. And that completely just calms the dogs way down. You got to do it over and over and over and over again. Because I go to some people's homes and I'm like, you work a dog this week? And I see the dog and I'm like, you didn't. Like, I know, but we as humans, you can't lie to, I mean, you can lie to yourself, but don't lie to yourself. And you can't lie to someone who basically like sees this and does this all the time and understands it, and then just sees like the same stuff. No shortcuts, girl. We're going all the way around. And doing everything. No shortcuts, girl. We're going all the way around. And doing it and understanding what things should look like when it's all set up. And if the dog is not getting any better, I'm just gonna guarantee that you are not doing enough. You're not putting in even what you say that you're putting in. Because a lot of times we do that to our own selves. We're like, I did it, or I'll get it tomorrow. And then you don't do it tomorrow. Then you're like, oh, it's only been 2 days, so it's all right. Not realizing that 8 days have passed by now. And then on that 8 days have passed, now you're in a sticky situation where you're like, well, things aren't getting any better and things aren't working. And it's like, well, we haven't been doing what we need to do to be able to make anything happen. So things are just going to continue to keep on basically getting worse, or best case, staying the same at being the worst that we're at. And that's the reality of it is, we're just not doing what it is that we need to do. And what we need to do, come on, girl, I'll let you go. We out here by ourselves today. I'll let you run. She's shaking his ear a little bit, so she got something going on, so I might have to clean her up. All right, you can go. But the main thing is we have to get the dogs satisfied first. And that's gonna take the most bulk of our time, to just have to sit out here and put the work in. We gotta put the work in. And then after we get that dog to be tired, then the dog is able to rely upon that. That's when the dog is finally just gonna settle down and just say, hey man, appreciate that. Thanks for giving me that. And then the dog knows what it takes to be able to get to that feeling again. Because the main thing is, I hate humanizing stuff, but it makes it easy for us to understand. And I'm not putting it in the sense of trying to treat the dog like a human, but I'm going to put it in the sense of us as like just basically going for a run. The first time you go for, I'm some story about myself. The first half marathon that I ran it way too fast. My heart rate was maxed out the entire thing for the first half mile. And I just ran and I ran and I ran and I ran. It was all exciting. It was a big, huge event. It was just lots of people around, and I was just running, man. And when I got to the point that I finished that race, and I finished that race hurting, I was hurting for at least a month. Like I was sore for 2 weeks, I could barely move. And I pushed myself to the absolute max for basically the first, I'm gonna say for the first time in my life, I ever pushed myself like that. I just pushed myself. I don't know what was in me. I don't know what's going on. It was the fastest run I ever ran in my entire life before. And I was just, I just went all out. And once I went all out, I was like, okay, well, I don't need to go that all out anymore. Now I know what the limits are. Now I know like how far to actually go before I get to that point that I'm just like, just absolutely done. And that's what we want to get to with the dogs. We want to get to that point that the dog is able to realize like it pushed it all. It pushed everything out that it has. And then we get that dog to be able to understand like, okay, now you don't really need to go that far. We don't need to do that much. We could just, we not say hold back, but just understand that that was just too much, man. It was just too far. We want to be able to allow the dogs to be able to get to that, to be able to experience that. And a lot of these dogs have never experienced that one time in their entire life. They've been on leash right next to you. They've never been able to be out and explore. They've never been in a place that they can even run around and do anything. I'm just so surprised she's getting in the water now. She's never used to getting in the water. And never allowed a dog to be able to chase anything, never allowed a dog to be able to do anything. So that ends up making the dog get to a point that the dog is just never been able to just release, just be able to be a dog at the end of the day. And then when you finally let the dog do that, they go they go crazy. I don't know what it is, but I do get excited. And it's fascinating that being a dog trainer that's actually out to try to help folks, I guess I could say is what I try to be, is realizing that the play is the way to be able to get the dogs to be able to get in a better place. So once we're able to get the dogs into that place of being able to actually express themselves, it really is really fun. It's exciting to see the dogs. It's really fun to see the dogs just go all out. You know, to you, you're like, I don't know, but to me, I love seeing the passion and the drive in the dogs and allowing them to just be able to run and sprint and get it and play and chew and tug and pull and roll and wrestle and just go absolutely insane. And I like to be able to do that, to get the dogs to that point. And I'm telling you, day after day after day, you just keep doing that, the dogs, they calm down and they don't need as much anymore. And it just starts to become simpler and simpler and simpler to the point that it almost kind of gets like boring again. You know, you get to the point that it's like a little crazy, especially with dogs with playing with balls and playing fetch with these balls. They get a little crazy. And then you're like, I don't know. And then they get to that point that they are just totally satisfied. And then it's not all that fun. All that excitement isn't there anymore. And that's the time that you finally, okay, let's take a break for a day or three. Let's take this out. And you're going to see for those 3 days that your dog is still going to be satisfied, good to go. The dog is still going to be really, really nice. And then you'll start to notice that little quirks will start to kick in, that the dog will start to get a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then it's like, okay, let's go throw that ball again. Let's go for that run again. Let's go for that nice walk again. Let's get on that harness and start pulling into it again. Let's do something wild again. And then you'll see that the dog is just so satisfied, so happy. They're able to get through it really fast. They're able to just have a good time and push themselves to the point that it's not like wild and crazy. That it's just something that is just like basically I'll say normal and just and happy and satisfying, not all sporadic, crazy and wild and maddening. It's just something that is just enjoyable. That's what I could say with like doing the searches with my dog when I take him out to go find things, when I'm having him tracking stuff. He's not in a sense of like just this burst of, oh my goodness, it's crazy, because he's much more relaxed, he's much calm. But if I don't do that, and then I don't walk him, and I don't do anything with this specific, my shepherd here, it's 3 days with this dog. If I don't take him somewhere and do something with him for 3 days, he turns back into an absolute, like a savage. He's a dog again. He just goes absolutely crazy. So if I take him out and do that search on that day that he's like that, absolutely crazy, that search is gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be crazy. He's gonna be half quick to like look at me and nibble on me a little bit to try to speed me up to make me get out there and do more, like go faster. And it can get dangerous in reality at the end. That's why we're continuously working them over and over and over again, and understand where your dog's limits are, what your dog is needing, because most dogs cannot do hard work every single day. They are just incapable of doing that. And I know that, and I have very, very high energy dogs. I work with a lot of dogs. I've seen a lot of dogs before. I still don't see dogs like, especially my border collie. This dude is on he's not even on a 10 scale, man. He's beyond that with how much energy he has, how wild he is. My shepherd here is on the go all the time. He is powerful, fast moving, cruising. My Dalmatian the same way. These dogs, I just don't see others when I go and work with other people's dogs. Most dogs are so chill. They just have this energy. They look and seem like they're wild, but I'm telling you that energy that's in your dog is very, very minor. And most all, I'm almost say like 95% of dogs that I see, maybe even higher than that, are so chill. They do not have the energy that you think is high energy. When I'm saying high energy, I'm talking high energy. I'm talking dogs that are they're insane, man. And most people that have any kind of these Belgian Malinois, most are. I've seen a couple that are just so lazy. Like they're hangout dogs, but most of them they're intense, man. They are them dogs that you can work them and work them and work them and work them. That's the beauty behind it, and that's why they're incredible dogs. Because when you need them to do some sort of work, such as some sort of tracking for you, some sort of searching for you, some sort of any of that stuff, that you can get them to do a 18-hour work shift, and they're good to go, and they can handle that. Whereas like the majority of dogs, like the average German Shepherd couldn't possibly even handle that. They're good for a normal work shift, 8 hours or so. And then to get them to be trained to that point, it takes a lot because you have to give them more breaks. Where some of these dogs, all of these dogs that I work with, they are not like that at all. They seem that way until you start to work them. And then when you start to work them, you start to play with them, you start to give them that exercise, everything just starts, you see that dog that turns into how basically my Johnny is, how he looks like he's a high energy dog. He seems to anyone that would see this dog when I first got him thinking, this dog's wild, man. This dog is crazy. But once I got all that out of him, he's good. Once a week, we could throw the ball. And even once a week throwing the ball, if it's a warmer day like today, he gonna protest. He's like, dude, that's too much. It's too much. He's good for doing it one time and one time only. We're not gonna sit out here and just eat all this stuff. Out. Thank you. I appreciate you starting to understand that term. We're getting there. But it's just too much for him. And what he seems to be as a high energy dog, you gonna go swim out there and go get it, homie. I see you. He really just isn't. But at first, it seems that way. Like you're doing a lot. You're just like, oh my goodness, it's taking me 2 hours to throw this ball to get this dog tired. Day after day after day after day, you just keep doing that over and over and over again until that dog gets to that point that it's just like, almost like how my Dalmatian is today. She was like, dude, I don't even want to go for that walk today. We good. Like, we fine. And I didn't even walk her yesterday. And she's already was like, we good today. We can skip today again and we can come back to this tomorrow. You want to get to that point that a dog is just like satisfied. And then from then on, you're going to see something completely different start to happen. I have never, and I have yet to see a dog that I'm working it every day, pretty good, and that dog just keeps getting better and better. I need more and more and more every day. I have yet to ever see a dog like that. Never. I only see dogs that you work them and you have to start going less and less and less. Hey guys, I don't want to go that way this time of the year. Come on, come here. Ophi, y'all know you're staring right at me. Kahi, Ophi. This is the part where we're just testing and challenging and hoping and wishing and praying that she's gonna come back. Because I know for a fact that I don't have no perfect recall on this dog yet, but we're just gonna see what's gonna happen. We're gonna walk away and do my favorite method. You're gonna follow me at some point. Kahi, they out here searching for bones. They finding old fish parts. When they get to searching on that, they just can't get out of it. And that to me, I don't really care, but I want them to understand that it's just, we ain't gonna do that all the time, every day. I don't let them eat too many bones. They gotta have a little bit of bone, but they can't just eat like 5 pounds of bone. They gotta be able to chill on them bones. But thankfully she came back. But something about these dogs that is just absolutely incredible, and being able to get them to be able to get them tired and give them that exercise that they need. And it's what's, in my opinion, just like, I don't know everything, but just in my opinion, it's just what's required. It's required that we have to give these dogs that outlet, that they are able to just be able to be a dog and be able to just enjoy themselves, because that's what they're looking. That's like why they're here. They're here to, in reality, do something for us. So if we could turn that something that they're supposed to do, such as like, I mean, my Dalmatian is kind of slightly working, doing stuff. But my Shepherd here, they're created to like do certain tasks. But if I could turn that task from being a certain like hardcore working performance that he's got to like be on alert all the time, going on a walk, being able to sniff out bombs, for instance, I don't. He doesn't have to do that. We could turn that experience of being that like hardcore work into just a fun, enjoying thing that we could do, such as going on this trail and letting him sniff out and whatever he wants to sniff out and just get that same routine going. But him being able to do it in a way that's like not in a life or death, especially like bomb searching dogs, a life or death situation, that the dogs just are able to just enjoy their time. That it's not anything that's serious, that we got to be there, we got to do this, we got to make this happen. It's just, we're just going to make it happen. So then the dogs that's where way more appreciation from the dog is going to come to you, because they're going to say, hey, like thank you for giving me the exercise and the work that I needed. But also at the same time, thank you for allowing me to do that, but making it fun and enjoying at the same time. And that's where we're going to start to have a real beautiful relationship with that dog. And not only, like most cases, most working dogs are like that are for hire, for work, that are doing stuff. They are amazing dogs because we are letting them do what it is that they are intended to do. And that makes an absolutely amazing dog. And that's why, like, my border collie is always going to look a certain way with me, because what we do is what he is intended to do. That's what he's supposed to be doing. So I give him what it is that he's supposed to be doing every single day, and our bond is going to be absolutely incredible beyond anything else of even my other dogs, because I still kind of slightly compare him and my relationship with him compared to some of my other dogs, and it's just not the same. And none of my dogs in reality are going to be the same. My Pyrenees, he pretty cool. I let him be able to do what he do, so he's a really nice, chill dog. But these other dogs, this Shepherd here, this Dalmatian here, we're just not going to have that same bond that I have with my border collie, because he's doing specifically what it is that he's supposed to be doing, and I'm giving that to him, and I'm working him with that. So that's what's going to be able to make us have that great bond together, and that's what we all need to be able to just figure out how to be able to do with getting the exercise out. And you're still going to have a really, really nice dog, but the main thing I say is if the dog is doing what that dog was bred to do, it's gonna fulfill that dog in a way that I don't know how to say, I don't know how to put it in words with how I am with my dog and how it is with certain things with him. That it's just it's extra, it's more. So that's what it's just fascinating on. That's what I believe is what really starts to bring the bond between us and dog together, is we start to get to that point that the dog sees us as that like extreme leader of giving them something that they need, something that they absolutely desire. And that's what gets the dogs to just start to really, really respect us. But it doesn't get more and more each day. It keeps getting less and less with each day. And that's something that I think is really, really powerful, because it shows me, again, my problems are not the same as most people's problems. The issue, the downfall of these dogs, that they are not capable of doing as much as even what I was thinking a dog was able to do. But they are able to do something that is able to provide us something that is just absolutely amazing. Like when we're working or we're walking is what my work is for these dogs. She's on mission pulling me. When she gets done pulling me, she just walks along with me. He's on mission sniffing and searching stuff. When he's done sniffing and searching stuff, he just walks with me. But he primarily would just keep doing that. He'll just push himself to the point of absolute exhaustion. It's just the type of dog that he is. But they start to just calm down, and they start to just look at you like you are just the absolute world's greatest person on the planet. And I don't have to worry about like any obedience work to get them to do what I need them to do. Most of the obedience work I do with my dogs is just fun little things we do on the side, not because I need it for them to be out in public to be able to do something. And that's where I think that a lot of our struggles are with these dogs. Think I need my dog to be in a heel to take him in public. No, you don't. I need my dog to be able to have a perfect sit stay to take him out in public. No, you don't. You don't need any of that stuff. All you need to do is just give the dog the exercise and then just take the dog out and let the dog go to places that you want to be able to go to. That's all that you need. And the more and more that we're trying to add all this extra stuff to it, that's where things are they're just getting more complicated. It's just fascinating to me to watch these dogs just do what they do and just have a good old time and just hang out and just be able to play and just be able to run and be able to do what they do, because it's just what the dogs are. It's just who they are. It's what they're all about. And now today, since it's like Ophi here the Dalmatian is already pretty tired. This right here, she's for sure not going to want to go for a walk tomorrow. Running in this water, playing, jumping, wrestling, and doing all this stuff out here. This is just draining. This is the part where again, she's the type of dog that can go to the dog parks. She likes to play with other dogs. She likes to run. She likes to chase. She's cool with all of that. She's the type of dog that I could take her there for, if, man, I took her for an hour, she'd probably be beyond tired. But the type of dog to do that with. But not all dogs, like this shepherd, heck no. I couldn't, it wouldn't work that way. It's not gonna work. He is not gonna be able to do that. So I have to come up with a different way. Some dogs, where I'll say, some dogs are just a little bit different with what it is that their desires are. And most dogs, it just my opinion, my experience, they get easier and easier to exercise in the end. It doesn't get it doesn't get harder to the point that we have to keep on adding more and more and more time. It gets less and less and less, and that's the beauty of what these dogs are all about. And it's not anything that's extra complicated. And for some reason, dog training out here nowadays is like just complicating things and making it seem like you're not good enough. And that's why you basically need them to be able to show you how to be good enough. But most of this stuff we just already have in us. And we have it in us because once the dog is calm, we're able to communicate to the dog. When the dogs are frantic and anxiety and going crazy and I'm guilty of this, I ain't gonna lie, because it is what it is. The main go-to training methods that we talk about with these dogs is, especially up front, trying to potty train them, put them in a crate and take them out and put them in the crate. When that dog's energy is just building and building and building and building and building. And when it's building and building, that dog is going to have an explosion one day. And that's the dog that most people are seeing, because we're going by the methods of, like, say, the dog training methods. You got to crate them, you got to this, you got to that to be able I'm still trying to figure it out, because I still do utilize crates myself for some stuff, but not in a way of worrying that they're going to break anything. Just, I don't know, it's for my own, feel like, safety at the end of the day. But if I'm at the house, my dog's not going to be sitting in the crate like that. We're going to be doing what we're doing. And that's something that we're being told, and that's where the energy of the dog is just escalating and escalating and escalating and getting to an outrageous point, because the dog never got a chance to, like, be able to just, like, run and play and have fun and just do what it does. And that's causing the dogs to just go absolutely wild, as opposed to just allowing the dog to be able to just walk, move, and do what it needs to do. And that's going to calm the dog down. For some reason, it's like most everything that we're doing with this dog training stuff is convincing the dogs to get more excited, more wild, more frustrated, have way more all I could say is negative energy, as opposed to it being in a situation that the dogs are calming down. We're not focused dog training on calming dogs. We're focused dog training on getting dogs to continue to keep on getting more and more excited. Hey guys, Kahi. Kahi. This fool can't even hear me. He's too dang far now. Come here. Yeah, you. Come here. Both of y'all. Both y'all come here. Kahi. Be the role model to this dang on Dalmatian. Y'all on a mission right now. Where the heck y'all going? Where you headed to, man? You get paired up with her and you're like, let's just go and let's go do something. It's a thing. You got bringing a new dog around your old dog that's already pretty good. Man, they really challenge them with, like, wanting to do what they do. Just not knowing, like, basically my basic foundation is don't take off, man. You got to stay close. And that dude right there is like, hey, I'm with her. We're good to go. And it's like, no, dude, you do the main rule that you do. And the other dog can influence the older dog to do some things that they don't, that's a good word of putting it. The disobedience part, where the dog already understands the rules, but the new dog will make the old dog do different stuff that the dogs knows that it's not supposed to be doing. So you got to do a lot of work on the new one before you even really put it around the old one. As you see here, that he's just following her. He's like, hey, I'm going with her. He's not even paying attention to me right now. This is the part where, me personally, I don't really let my dogs play too much, because they get a little wild, and I just don't really care for all that much. Hey, what's that dog? Kahi. I don't really care for them to play too much. I let them do it here and there, because things get a little wild when they get to playing a little much, because they dogs at the end of the day, and dogs do dog stuff, and dogs be chewing, and a dog chews a little bit too much, and the other dog didn't appreciate that. Then you got you a situation that the dogs are going to start to get into a little bit of a bicker. And that little bit of a bicker can be all right up front, but that little bit of a bicker after a couple of days and a couple of times of doing that all the time, all day, it could turn into an absolute fight. And I just don't have dog fights at my house, so I'm just going to keep doing what it is that I'm doing. I let them play here and there. Kahi, come here. Don't worry about her. We'll get her in a moment. You come here. Don't worry about her. We'll get her in a moment. We'll let her explore a little bit, see what she's gonna do. I just kind of want to see what she's gonna do. I'm not scared or worried about being out here. You come here. We'll see what she does. Let's just leave and see what she does. These dogs are just, I don't know how to say it other than they're just incredible. They're fun, they're exciting, they're interesting, they're entertaining. There's something about them that's just really neat. But you only see that after you're able to just really exercise the dogs and give the dogs what they need. If we're just out here constantly keeping them locked up and not allowing them to be able to do what they need to do and get out what they need to get out, that's where we're having battles with these dogs. And unfortunately, most stuff that we're being like told and shown is to like get the dogs in even more excitement and even more frustration. She gonna run back like, hey, where y'all going? I want to see what she's gonna do. They always come back. I don't know why, but I think we worry too much about what they're gonna do, what's gonna happen, but they come back. Now, if they're chasing a deer, it's harder for them to come back because they get further away. That's why I don't let my animals chase deer and out here like this. They can run, do what they do, but they can't chase anything. Chasing stuff, that gets you. The dogs can get too far away where they can actually straight just get lost. It is what it is. They didn't make a path of how to get back. They just gone, they taken off. But they always come back. I've experienced it. I just let them be free. Because I know a lot of people get nervous about letting your dog off leash and doing what it's doing. But they just come back. I don't know why they come back, but they just come back. At least mine come back. I don't worry about it too much. But it's just something that is just incredible about these dogs. And when we get them out of that frustration, we get them out of that level of confusion, we get them into being able to communicate effectively to them. Because even like right here, the first thing someone will say is, oh, put an e-collar on that dog to make sure that stays with you. But that's just, to me, that's, I don't want to say the easy way out, but it's not even an easy way out. It's something that it's not me giving enough trust to the animal. And when I trust the animal just starts to trust me. Because it's like, oh, okay, we're fine. Everything's okay. Even this one experience that we just had out here with this girl just taking off doing what she's doing, she's going to only just keep getting better and better and better and better. And this is where you do it in a, say, safer location. Don't just let your dogs go run free in somewhere where you just don't know and don't anything around. I know all this area. I've been here, coming here for years now. I know all that's around here, and I feel very comfortable and safe outside of snakes. But as long as they're running, I don't care about no snakes messing with the dogs. But it builds them to be able to just trust you more. It's just, I don't know what it is. All I know is when I exercise my dogs more, I let them run more, I let them explore more, I let them just do more. They are just a way, way nicer dog in the end. And it's just something incredible about that I want more people to just be able to just understand that at the end of the day, that really is the way to have a really nice dog that you're looking for. A really nice dog that you're looking for. Thank you. These dogs are just the funniest little things, I will say. They're starting to get more in tune with each other, more just like having fun and appreciating each other. Kahi got in his feelings a little bit that he really just didn't like her for a while because he was like trying to work her a little too much, I guess. Like get away from people, get away from dogs, and he felt like he was just doing too much, like he had too much on his plate. So then I had to help him out, and then that's when I started having to walk him separate times sometimes and just being able to just let them go back to being a dog. And now that I've done that, they're starting to be able to just have more fun with each other. And they have way more fun with each other, and they walk together much more peacefully, and I don't know, things are just coming along. But the main thing is I want them both to be able to get that full sense of exercise out, because when they do, then everything is going to be fine with them. I don't know why, I'm just never really nervous about my dogs. Everything's usually always pretty good. You're not drinking that Red Bull. That ain't Red Bull, that's a beer. She's like, let me get that beer. All right.